The SFL postgame show is on the air. We take your calls. 210-473-8428. We want to hear from you. The final scores tonight: Minneapolis 40, OKC 37, Sioux Falls 59, Tallahassee 30, and Dallas 40, Queen City 14. Let me catch my breath. We got to analyze this Teal Conference race. There are 5 teams within one game of one another, and Minneapolis is not out of trouble yet. They may be up a game on Los Angeles, but the two play next week. If that game is not already on the commentary schedule, it may get flexed in. Another key West Division battle down the stretch in the Teal Conference. So in the Teal, it's Houston, Tallahassee, and Oklahoma City, all at 3 and 6. OKC hosts Tallahassee next week in likely an elimination game. And LA is 4 and 5. Minneapolis is 5 and 4. So Los Angeles, for the time being, is alone in the 4th position. Actually, Orlando is 4 and 5. I stand corrected. The Intimidators are also one game under 500. Woo! At least that's the Teal Conference picture for that. We're going to get any callers tonight? That's the question. In the Gray Conference, NYC is 3 and 5. Queen City and Carolina are 3 and 6. Cleveland is 2 and 7. In a 5-team race for that final playoff spot. DC is 2 and 6. DC and Baltimore play each other tomorrow, along with NYC and Louisville. Some big games left on the schedule. 717. You're on the SFL postgame show. Who do we got with us?
You got Doug Bose.
Doug, this was about as hard-fought a win as you can get, and the Maulers, obviously the announcement coming down this week that this would be the Maulers' final season, and obviously a plan for a lot of pride out there tonight.
Yes, sir, and I'm going to say it now. I don't care the game. I don't care the matchup. I don't care the week. Maulers, called game, rest of the season. Let's send T-Pat outright.
So you think Minneapolis can win out?
Well, no, he's playing the Sharks next week.
Okay then. Okay.
Another chance.
You got to face your baby brother tonight. Let's break down the results of that matchup on the ground. Well, let's go by total touches for Bose. Doug Bose had 27 touches for 181 yards. Not a bad night at all. And Robert Bose finishes with 5 tackles, a pass defended, and a tackle for loss. I would say that you won the battle.
What else is new? Oh, man.
Maulers.
I do have breaking news for you.
Okay.
I seem to come up lame. I'm not sure if I'll be able to play next week.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be quite a struggle for you. And of course, when we looked at the schedule, this game between Minneapolis and Los Angeles, we certainly thought that maybe it would come down to it. Maybe it would be a fight for a divisional title. Not necessarily the case on the latter, but the game means everything to the playoffs, and essentially Los Angeles can earn themselves a huge advantage on the 3rd place spot with 2 weeks left to go Although I'm not sure if who you would rather play at this point, Santa Fe and Sioux Falls. I'm not sure that it much matters unless
No.
you have an opinion on that.
No, I mean, both teams are good. Both teams are doing their thing. Both teams win it different ways. I have a strong way of thinking how we can prepare for both teams. I'm a strong feeling right now that Santa Fe game, I take that on me. I put in the wrong defense, and had I left a few things in there, I firmly believe we could have won that game. It was Matt Wilson's worst yardage performance of the season. We just didn't decide to target Kim at all, and he made us pay for that one. Sioux Falls, they got us week one. We had no idea what was coming. I know what they're all about now. That doesn't mean we can win either of these games, of course, but I like our chances. But we have to win next week, and then we get Orlando after that before we get to play OKC. None of them are going to be walks in the park, and we basically need to win out because as tough as this team's getting, any loss could be an elimination.
After seeing OKC massacred by the fade, not by the fade, by the swing last week, I was a little surprised that they did not make more of an effort to shut that down or shut that part of the Mahler offense down. Were you surprised?
I was surprised. And I mean, let me toot my horn here. I mean, even when they tried, I was trucking guys and throwing guys left and right, and Taco Boast didn't have nothing for me.
The Maulers get the win. You sort of sit comfortably in that third playoff spot for now. But this Minneapolis team and Mac Wavy Jr., 7 straight games of over 300 yards passing. You don't miss Rocco Marconi too much, do you?
We do not. I mean, we wish the Italian Stallion well while he was in Dallas. Matt came in, he had the rookie jitters. And as I said, like week 1 and week 2, we'll sit him down, we'll get him ready. And he's been on fire since. And we all know the story with CPAT and the Maulers. Someone's going to get themselves a gem next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug, thanks for your time. Great game tonight, and a good win on the road, an important win.
I appreciate it, and someone else needs to call in. We don't need to just hear my nasty voice tonight.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. 40-37 Maulers finish off the Renegades. A couple of more interesting numbers. Casper, 12 tackles and a pick tonight for OKC. Jake McClellan, 11 tackles. He single-handedly helped hold Pete Bruschi to under 100 yards. He finished with 99 on 23 carries. The big night from Champ Wavy, his final numbers, 5 tackles, a couple of passes defense, 9:03. You're on the SFL postgame show.
Stephen Mullinex, Dallas Roughnecks.
Mr. Mullinex, you've wanted to get Mike Davis involved, and in the first few weeks of that initiative, it hasn't necessarily happened. It happened tonight.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. Obviously, coming home, that home cooking, it can always help to get the motor running. And I stressed to my guys, we're coming off a 2-game losing streak, losing to some really impressive teams, and then we come home and we face the former SFL champions. So it was a tall task for us, but we were up to it tonight, and they played really well.
You obviously playing before Baltimore does, the pressure was a little bit more on you guys to sort of get that win because you don't currently have that tiebreaker, so you put the pressure back on Baltimore. At this point, how much does Dallas sort of pay attention to what Baltimore's doing, and how much is it of it's out of our hands, so we can't really look at it too much?
Well, you can't ignore it. I don't think that. Obviously we have to go out and we have to play our games and now get firm. The DC Dragons firmly in our sights here and get ready for them. But no, you can't ignore it. It's happening, and not only Baltimore, but within our own division, Cleveland and Carolina, and we're watching all of them. And it's important. for where our place may be in the postseason if we're lucky enough to make it. And so yeah, we'll be watching, and very interested in seeing how it all shakes out. But ultimately, yeah, you got to take it game by game and just try to beat the opponent that's in front of you, not the one that may be down the road.
Rocco Marconi had a very similar night to the one that he had in Week 1 when your offense arguably looked the best. 18 of 23, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, no mistakes with a QBR of 142.6. What have you seen good and bad out of Marconi this season, and what do you see about the good that has to be harnessed moving forward if you're going to make some noise in the playoffs?
Well, I've been really pleased with what Marconi's brought to the franchise, not just on the field but off of it. He brings a prestige to our club that I think we were lacking last year, and a certain level of respect across the league, and that's one of the reasons why we were so adamant and did so much to try and get him into Dallas. And I think the problem has been is we've relied too much on Marconi at times. And he's pressed, trying to live up to his legend, and we haven't really made use of Mike Davis as much or as well as we could have, like we did tonight. And so, he has a tendency, as you would, as the leader that he is, to try and take the game all on his shoulders, and at times that's caused him to press and make some mistakes. And so. Tonight was a more balanced offense like we saw in Week 1, and hopefully we're getting back to that and learning how to use all facets of the offense and not putting the onus just on Marconi.
Turnovers are a big stat for this team. When Rocco Marconi does not throw an interception, you're 3-0. When you force more than 4 turnovers in a game, you're 3-0. And actually, coming into the night, I think that was an emphasis for you because you had a game against Tallahassee, you picked them off 5 times. Against Santa Fe, you picked them off 4 times. But in your other 6 games coming into the night, you had forced just 5 turnovers. Your defense got that turnover bug again tonight, and the combination of your defense getting the turnovers and Rocco Marconi not committing the turnovers ends up resulting in your largest victory of this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly explains how our season has gone. Those turnovers are, again, we're talking about Marconi pressing too much, and that's relying far too much on him. And when you throw as much as we do and spread it out as much as we do, you kind of have to, that there are going to be consequences to interceptions and things like that. That's part of that being as aggressive as we are. So we knew we knew that coming in. And our defense has struggled the last couple of weeks after playing so well when we first started this year in Louisville and Baltimore and even Sioux Falls. They really showed some flaws in that defense. Really helped me as the coach and the play caller to try and figure out what we were doing wrong and what we were doing right on the defense, even though it seems like we were pretty locked in. There's always ways that you can improve. And it looks like we're on the way of doing that at the right time. And that's the key, trying to make sure that we're locked in and as we go into hopefully the postseason.
With the win tonight, you officially have more wins than last season.
Yes. It's a milestone. That I hit 5, and then we had 2 straight losses, and it felt like, oh man, we were 5-7 last year. We can't get over that 5 hump, and part of that milestone is I just want to get past 5. I want to get to 6, and we got that tonight, which is great. It just shows that what happened at the end of last season wasn't a fluke. We started to get better. At the end of last season, we started to see a little glimmer of hope of what we could be, and that kind of has started to fulfill itself this season. And hitting 6 is a real personal milestone.
You haven't clinched a playoff spot yet, but you got a step further. into clinching it tonight, and I'm sure you'll be paying close attention tomorrow with NYC and DC in action, and Baltimore for that matter, to see how the week ends up here in Week 9. So best of luck to you and happy watching.
I appreciate you, Cam.
All righty, thanks. Stephen Mullinex, owner of the Dallas Roughnecks. Open line now, 210-473-8428. We had someone that was trying to call in earlier that just didn't have the fingers going quick enough, and 559's going to have the quick fingers. You're on the postgame show.
Hey, how's it going, Mac Webby Jr., baby?
Okay, I don't even want to talk about you. I want to talk about your boy Champ. Man, that guy was amazing tonight.
Oh, man, I know. Yeah, that just makes me feel good inside.
Did your son happen to be watching?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was a family affair, baby. We was all out there.
Yeah, he had a tremendous game. I mean, 5 tackles, 2 passes defended. And 2 tackles for loss, for that matter. You know, you take a look at that stat sheet if you're looking at a regular box score and it doesn't really jump out to you, but every single one of those plays that were made came in crucial moments.
Yeah, he made some big plays. You know, I dropped the ball last time he made a big play for us. You know, he made an interception in the red zone a couple of weeks ago in a game we were down 7, and instead of me marching it down, going and scoring, you know, we didn't come down with that one. So I'm just happy that we could you know, make good on them big plays they was making on that defensive side.
You know, the victories are difficult in this league. Every game is I'm sitting in my chair here in my studio, leaned back and just about ready to fall asleep. That game was so exhausting. These games are a piece of work, but you got it done, and I'm sure you know how important that is to get those road wins. But how do you and how does the team feel about just how important that game was for you?
You know, like I told the team, sometimes there's going to be those games that you just got to fight through it. And it was on all phases today. All phases, as our big field goal kicker, he hit that 46-yard, I believe, and he sealed the deal for us. So we're ecstatic. We know we're on a little 2-game win streak. We got a big game against the LA Sharks. You know what I mean? We got a little slight problem with our running back, but we're gonna work that out.
Yeah, you should work that out. The Maulers it was announced earlier this week that this would be the Maulers' final season. How did the team sort of brush that off with a future unknown and say, you know what, we're still going to go out there and we're still going to get this done?
We're trying to send Mr. T-Pat out in style, you know what I mean? So as long as we just keep playing like we played tonight, I know he's going to be proud of us. So we're out there playing for Coach T-Pat.
And that is the commentary game Saturday, October 8th. It's a Saturday affair of the SFL, and Los Angeles and Minneapolis is where that's going to be at. Mac, this was your 7th straight game with 300 yards passing, and actually you crossed the 400 barrier, 416 tonight. I'm sure when T-Pat brought you in, he said your arm was going to be a little tired, but 7 straight games over 300 yards. I'm not sure that many, if any, have done that in their rookie season in the SFL. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir. T-Pat, he draws up them. We all know he was an offensive, he had it all in that brain of his, what to do. So he just telling me, putting me in good spots, and the receivers are getting open. And, I hit a tight throw here and there, and, it's coming along. I'm just very proud of the boys right now, very proud of Champ and JJ and all my deep guys on defense. It's a team effort. I'm very proud of these Maulers.
You're a player, obviously. What did you think of the State of the League address?
Well, it was big news for our team, of course. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't mind the money thing. So I want the league to grow. I want what's best for the SFL, and you're the head man. And if you think that's what's best, I'm with you on every way. So I have no problem with that. With the free agency, that's a big choice right there. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of offers already and a lot of stuff. So, you know, that's the big decision right there. I guess we could take it. We're gonna take it. We don't have too much time, but we have a little bit of time to think about it. So I just want to do what's best for me and my family, and I want to go to the best situation I can. You know what I mean? Because I'm a leader, and I'm ready to lead a team to a. I'm not trying to think about the next year. I'm trying to stay on this year. It's hard, it's hard to do that. But just, I'm trying to finish this season, and we're going to try to worry about that.
How much have you seen out of the Los Angeles Sharks this season in passing or on film, and what's your assessment of them from an outsider's look?
They're a good team, good ran organization. They're coming together a little bit slow, but it's picking up for them. So I know it's going to be a game, and I'm just ready to get 3 in a row. And it's the perfect time to be on fire. We got the playoffs coming up, and Muller's pretty hot. The other team's pretty hot too. So we're just trying to catch up.
I bet you want Santa Fe in the first round because you guys were playing pretty well against Santa Fe in week 2, and then you went down with an injury. That's a revenge game there potentially in the first round.
Yeah, I've had that circled around and just in my brain, and just I can't wait to get out there because we were playing our butts off, and I feel like I left the team down on that game, But so there's certain things you can control and certain things you can't control, and I know that I'm ready.
Give Champ a hair, mess up his hair a little bit, and congratulate him on a nice night tonight. He was special.
Yeah, he got me. We're buying Dan and my offensive line dinner, so he's coming with. So.
All right, good stuff, Mac. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. You have a great night.
All right, Mac Wavy Jr. It's always good to hear from him. 36 of 53, 416 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. We have not yet touched on some final numbers from Sioux Falls and Tallahassee, and we got an open line again, 210-473-8428. Jace Jefferson, 11 tackles for the Sparrows. Tonight he was a big part of the defense, but Tallahassee, whatever strategy they came in with defensively, it was the wrong one. Benny Beasley, 191 yards and 3 scores. Caesar Cannon, 222 yards and a touchdown, and Jordan Jennings, 166 yards and 4 scores. And the wizard of the Sioux Falls Sparrows, Jason McGee, is on the postgame show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, so Tallahassee decided to play all man on you, according to their owner. That didn't work either. My question to you is, do you know what works to stop your team, and does anything stop your team? Should people just look at what Carolina did, or what's going on here?
No, you can't really look at what they did because, to be honest, even in that game, Sioux Falls started turning it up, and it was just too late. But I hope there's not a way to stop it because otherwise I'm not doing my job too well.
That's a good point. Tyree had the best numbers that this league has probably seen in years. Perfect quarterback rating. Take a guess on his completions and attempts tonight.
Probably 46 or something ridiculous.
Are you keeping track of stats as you're going along? 39 of 44. Somebody's paying attention for 582 yards, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, despite being sacked 5 times. But Tyree was a machine, and I think that you're you may be putting doubts in a lot of people's heads at this point that maybe there isn't anything that can stop this offense, because whatever it is you've cooked up, it's working. And Tallahassee obviously in that game in the first half, but a huge pick by Gage Wilson in the second. If you can address that for a moment.
Yeah, the defense is just, they're so quick to the ball. I mean, it's hard to stop any great running team, and I don't think there's a better mind when it comes to running the football than the Tallahassee Pride. I mean, they had an elite running game last year with a silver running back, and that just says all you need to know about how they know how to run the football. So for us to have even as good of a game defensively as we did was definitely a plus and pretty impressive on our end. And those linebackers are definitely flying all over the place, and even when they allow a completion, they're usually delivering some hard hits, and sometimes that's all it takes to bend the will of the opponents and win some football games.
All right, I'll give you another trivia question. How many broken tackles did Benny Beasley have tonight?
That one, I couldn't even count that. That was ridiculous. He was talk about gold running backs. He was playing like one out there, because that was, I don't know. Like, if I had to guess a number, probably at least 10, but I feel like it was 100.
Is somebody feeding you stats? 10 broken tackles for Benny Beasley. I mean, not only is your team scoring in the 40s and 50s, but you don't even have to look at a box score. You already know what you're – I got to find another player to give you a quiz on, because I can't have you a perfect score all night. But, when you step back, obviously another tremendous offensive performance out of Sioux Falls. But when you step back, you're still tied for the second best record in the SFL. You can't get too high or too low in these situations, right?
Yeah, we just got to keep going. I think we're in a great position now. We're doing what we want to do on both sides of the ball and making big plays, and we're protecting the ball more and more with each game. And we can't do anything about what Louisville is doing. All we can do is try and beat the next guys that are in front of us. So that's how we're going to take it.
And the next guys in front of you are Houston, a team that is surging, shredded some dead weight there over the last week, and their last 3 games, a couple of overtime stunners. They almost beat Santa Fe. They clearly know how to play with the upper echelon of the league. And not only that, but you have to go on the road and out of the comforts of home that you've had the last couple of weeks. So this is a no-joke type of matchup, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, road games especially, but then you throw Houston into the mix, and you just can't say enough about that. They're a tough team to beat. They can execute and make big plays on both sides of the ball. They have the best running back in the league, I'd say. And so we're instantly in another situation where we're dealing with another powerhouse running team. But this team, I think they're a little more balanced offensively, so it's just even bigger of a challenge. I felt like tonight, having a lead on Tallahassee forced them to kind of pass a little more, and I got to give credit to Tallahassee again for that, because they pass really well for such a limited star offense out there. But for Dallas, we won't be able to say that they can't pass on us if all we have to do is get a big lead, and it'll be okay. It won't be okay, and they're going to be ready, I'm pretty sure.
All right, Jason, well, we appreciate the time. Congrats on an 8-1 record like Dallas. You also, you've equaled your win total from last year, and you're 1 week away from upping that as the Roughnecks did tonight. Thanks for the time.
Thanks. Good night.
All right, that concludes the SFL postgame show. Again, the finals from around the league tonight. Sioux Falls 59, Tallahassee 37. Dallas 40, Queen City 14, and Minneapolis 40, OKC 37. For everyone involved with the Simulation Football League, I am your SFL Commissioner and play-by-play commentator Cameron Irvine. Don't forget tomorrow night, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, Baltimore at DC, in a pivotal game in the Gray Conference race. It's been a presentation of the SFL. Good night, everyone.